It is always an amazing pleasure to be able to speak to alumni, friends, and family on this auspicious holiday of Chanukkah. And I wanted to bring a message which I think is very important as we're concentrating on the orot of Chanukkah. We know that one of the famous questions is that why we have to light mahadrin min mahadrin. One of the most amazing ideas is that we see that everybody who lights Chanukkah candles in Baruch Hashem, the numbers are very, very high in percentages here in Eretz Yisrael. Almost everybody lights Chanukkah candles. Everybody follows the shita of lighting on the first night 1, and then 2, and then 3, until the last night there's 8. And everybody follows this halacha. And we know that the tzibah halacha, you only have to do 1. And the reason is that when we do mitzvahs, so we're supposed to remember that we should do mitzvahs mahadrim and mahadrim. As we know, Tuma Hutra B'tzibur, they really didn't have to find the Pach Shem, and that was a tremendous miracle, but it was to teach us this important lesson of striving for the spiritual, of doing more and more when a person is trying his best to be the best Jew that he can be. And I think that we see this in a most beautiful way in the parshas that we've been reading throughout the last number of weeks. A number of weeks ago we read Parshas Vayishlach, and it says Vayishlach Malachim, that Yaakov Avinu sent Malachim, and Rashi says Malachim Mamish. Strange comment of Rashi, not a normal comment. Why did he have to send Malachim Mamish? Rav Soloveitchik says beautifully that it was Malachim Mamish to teach a lesson to Esav. He said, Esav, listen, I had a lot of money, I have a lot of wealth, says Yaakov Avinu, but that's not important to me. There's one thing that's important to me, and that's Malachim Mamish. That is to be spiritual, to strive to be the best person that I can be. And that is what is going to defeat the Esavs of the world. And I think that idea is really how Yaakov carried it forward. He carried it forward, of course, to Yosef. Yosef will be known in our parshas of Yosef HaTzadik, the one who strives spiritually. It is clear that Yosef was a tzaddik, but as we learn in Parshas Vayeshev, Yosef had a lot of challenges, Eshes Potiphar, and of course all the challenges through his life. And in fact, it's interesting to note that those that say that we know the Avos with Tikkun, Mincha, and Shachris, and Arvis, so those that say that Yosef is matakin musaf, this extra tefillah, literally musaf, to add, again, showing how important the spiritual is. These are the weeks that we learn about those that were going into Mitzrayim, into what we call Gullus, into the darkness. Yaakov Avinu was, of course, matakin tefillat arvis, which was the darkness, which is the tefillah of the darkness, but that is right before the dawn. Rav Soloveitchik also says the ayelet hashachar is the darkest right before it gets the sunniest, before the sunset comes, and that is, of course, the times that we're in. So when we're commemorating this amazing holiday of Chanukkah, so we have to remind ourselves of what we're actually doing. The fact that whatever night it is, we're always going up in Kedusha level. We're always doing the Mahadrin Mina Mahadrin. We're always following the most beautiful way to do the mitzvahs. Because we know that the times of Chanukkah, the Jews were not on the highest spiritual level. They had tremendous Yetzer Hara of the Yevanim, of following the Greek ways. But at the end, they rededicated themselves. The idea of Chanukkah HaMizbeach, of rededication, is striving constantly to be spiritually better and better. And this is something that was really taught to us. We know that we have the concept of Maisa Avos Siman Abanim. The Ramban beautifully says in Sefer Shemos, it says, Maisa Avos Yitzira Lebanim. Yitzira is a much stronger term. It fashioned us. Yaakov fashioned us to remind us that spiritual goals, and he reminded all the Shiftei Kol of his sons that. We know we have Yehuda as well, is that concept as well. Yehuda also had his challenges. We are called Yehudim, we are called Jews after the fact that we follow Shevet Yehuda, the Malchus, the spiritual, even though Yehuda had sinned, but he became the leader of Klal Yisrael when it came to Malchus. So on this holiday of Chanukah, we should very much remind ourselves that we have to spiritually be better and better. What can we do to accomplish that goal? It is not only about the physical. It's not only about saying, okay, well, I go to 3 tefillas a day, I do that, I have a Seder Limud, but spiritually, how are we increasing being better Jews in that way? And that is the whole holiday of Chanukah in itself. It's to remind ourselves of that great spiritual miracle, that great Pach Shem, and even though it wasn't necessary halachically, it reminds us that we have to be better people in everything that we do, and we should be zoicha to that and reach the level of Yaakov Avinu. I just want to end off with the beautiful, beautiful idea that was shared with us at that amazing wedding that took place. The very tragic situation of course, as we know, the Litwin family who lost, of course, a father and a brother. And the grandfather, Rabbi Bigel, said something so beautiful on that pasuk, Vayeshev Yaakov, Malachim Mamish. So he said there's a halachic problem with this. We know that the Shlichus Adam Kemoso, that when we have a Shliach, so he can't send a Shliach that's not exactly like the person. And a Malach is not exactly who Yaakov Avinu was. He was not a Malach, he was a human being. So he said beautifully, based on an idea that he heard, I believe, from Ravad Yosef, that he said that it's Malachim Mamish that's who Yaakov Avinu strived to be. He strived to reach the level of a Malach spiritually, to reach that level, and we should be zocha to reach the level of Malachim. We should strive in everything that we do spiritually to reach that amazing level of serving Hashem completely and utterly only for the reason to get higher and closer to Him. The mitzvahs are there for that reason. We should have a wonderful, amazing time on Chanukkah, but remind ourselves what the point of this holiday is, to grow spiritually. And with that growth in Mitzvah Hashem, we will have no more terror, and we will only see Mashiach Tzidkenu b'meheira v'yameinu. Happy Chanukkah.